Hey everybody, we are jumping into Detonation Focus Me versus Crest Gaming Act. This is a part of the last game of the regular season for the LJL playoffs. For them start here September 1st, early in the morning. Detonation Focus Me have secured themselves in the first place position by, and gosh darn it, oh okay, there we go. Don't know, I lagged out there for a little bit, lost that connection, but we are good to go and keep going. So, as you can see here, Detonation Focus Me and Crest Gaming Act actually sitting at 17-3. Detonation Focus Me sitting at 16-3. I do know the result of this game, and actually the season does end with Detonation Focus Me, as I already mentioned, in first place, getting that first week bye. The LJL League, because it is not doesn't garner a lot of attention, it's not a very large playoff situation going on for it. There's only actually 3 teams that take part this round. It's going to be V3 Esports, Crest Gaming Act up in the first round, and then the final round it's going to be whoever wins that first game against Detonation Focus Me. Detonation Focus Me really dominating the league for quite some time. They haven't had really anybody answer them, but when they get to the world stage, their success kind of fluctuates. So I'm very interested to see how they if they've adapted since I've been away from the LJL a little bit. I've been observing it from a distance for a while, ended up moving, so lost some valuable time as far as me wanting to consistently update these videos. But anyways, back here again and getting ready for the playoffs. See Yumi getting picked up here in the first round. Bit of a free support. Kind of surprised by the Gragas ban here. The Kiana Akali, well-warranted Gragas ban. I suppose they want to put Steel down on the jungle picks, although there's still a lot of good junglers available in the pool here. Let's see, Detonation Focus Me. Yeah, Steel still has a comfortable pool to select from. I mean, could easily go opt for a Sejuani or anything like that. The Jarvan is still available. Not a lot of junglers except for that Gragas taken away. Silas taken off the table, so what I'm mildly expecting here is Crest Gaming Act to pick up. They maybe want the Sejuani for themselves. Remove the Silas so that they do not get access to that high power Sejuani ultimate. And we have seen Silas get picked up here by Steel a couple of times, so it does look like that is directly attacking his champion pool. Talon getting taken off the table mysteriously to me. That's interesting ban. Maybe they know something that we don't as far as the picks go. I'm trying to piece this together as I look at the champions that they've played in the past. But maybe there's something going on here with this champion. Camille getting banned out as well. The only remaining positions available on the side of Detonation Focus Me are that top and jungle position. I suppose the Nico could get flexed to the top, but more likely I think at this point to be going mid for that extra CC fighting potential. But a pretty strong lane from Detonation Focus Me with the Yumi and Ezreal. A lot of mobility of course with the Arcane Shift, and can farm safely, but have that additional poke with the Yumi's Q and Ezreal firing off Qs all the time. So there we go. We see the Sejuani appearing here. So that now Detonation Focus Me will not get that luxury of having the Silas to steal an ultimate away. And to answer that Sejuani, though, Steel's going to be plenty happy just picking up Trundle for himself. And Gnar, Eevee has played Gnar quite a few times this split, not getting too much play anywhere else than Gnar, I don't believe. But a favorite of his getting picked up here. On Crest Gaming Act side, might be surprising that Volibear is seeing some playtime, as actually is going in the support role by Atia Momo. It has been getting played in the East pretty consistently, actually. So not a giant surprise there coming out of anybody. But yeah, Gnar, it looks like it's favored over in the LJL pretty consistently. Seeing LGD even playing it in other parts here. But I typically feel as though there's a lot of, like, from some of the top teams, Gnar has some pretty easy counters. I mean, especially going into the Worlds, this next patch we have coming, 9.16, Fiora got some buffs. I believe Fiora typically does rather well into the Gnar. Yasuo is a pocket pick favorite to take against the Gnar, so going to be interested to see how Eevee can handle himself and what champions he can pull from. He does have the luxury of falling back to some clever picks here and there, and he's not afraid to just play his own way, and he doesn't really have to deal with too much pressure on the top side. He can generally do what he wants. But looking at these team comps, looks like Crest Gaming Act going to be wanting, got a nice well-rounded composition. They're okay with go ahead and scaling into later parts of the game. The Volibear, I'm sort of questioning at this point. I suppose they only have one target that they'll need to flip over, that being the Ezreal, although with Arcane Shift and Flash, I feel it's going to be pretty difficult to secure a kill on him. Imagine they probably just want to burst the Ezreal down, flip him over, just blow all the resources on him as quickly as they can to try and secure that kill for themselves. But be interested to see. This is actually the first game out of... oh, no, I'm sorry. I was looking at Gang there. Yes, this is the first game out of Momo playing Volibear. He's far more familiar with Yuumi, so maybe he thinks he can take this pick with the Volibear. Go ahead, going into this matchup. This is also Saros' first game of the year on the Nico. I don't know the last time he ended up playing it. I think it has been a while here. Let's see. I don't think it was since... No, this looks like his first game of the year on this champion. Let's go ahead and fall back a little bit more, just see what's going on here. Don't have to worry about looking at those stats a little bit later, but looks like Detonation Focus Me trying to figure out what's going on the top side, figure out what that Sejuani and Aatrox are doing over the top side of the jungle, but Crest Gaming X just going to ward that side of the map from themselves, get themselves some security with that. Detonation Focus Me, clearly the favored team in this matchup. And Crest Gaming Act, they were able to beat Detonation Focus Me and were sitting comfortably towards the top of the standings along with V3 for a while there until Detonation Focus Me finally turned it on. Looked like Crest Gaming Act or V3 were going to be the favorites. Oh, there we see the hard engage, already Flash and Ignite drop down, but not a lot of damage coming out onto Udapon here. That seemed like pretty forced. Maybe I would expect, hopefully, an early level 2, try and push and get that level 2. Momo maybe saw something, but I think it's going to be very difficult to make the Volibear sort of a useful pick. He's trying to make something happen, but Yumi's always going to have the ability to jump in, and Momo takes the worst end of that trade. So I do think it's going to be pretty difficult to make this a lively pick at the end of the day for him. Because, yeah, Momo is trying to exert pressure, but, I mean, it's Ezreal. He's going to be able to farm plenty safely for himself. He's got Kleptomancy. They're okay for sitting in for the long haul to see where this game goes. But maybe that isn't a bad thing, because Crest Gaming Act, they do have a lot of scaling on their side of the map. If they play it right, very nice front-to-back team composition. Maybe Volibear does get a pick, able to flip somebody over in the team fight, can make something wonderful happen. However, this does give a lot of options for Steel, and he is coming onto the bottom lane. That's going to be an easy Ice Pillar. Flash already used. This is such a straightforward kill. He doesn't have any way to get away. They're trying to hand it over. It looks like to Udapon. Does get over to him first blood, already going over. And that's what you get for being way too aggressive in the bottom lane, trying to play that Volibear, trying to make that pick useful, but it feels like maybe Momo doesn't quite know how to play that effectively on the stage. Again, this being his first match, maybe in scrims it was okay to just be going all out and felt like going ham. But considering how pivotal this game is, I mean, again, already, as we discussed already, we know Detonation Focus Me is going to pull ahead in the standings, but Crest Gaming Act to make such a interesting pick and even go so hard there, maybe trying to force themselves, maybe they believe this is the better route to go ahead and try and take Detonation Focus Me out in this. Across the map, though, we see Evie, I'm sorry. Keep thinking Evie, but it's Ev-E. Gonna keep saying that every single time I look at him, but he is not a Pokemon. Ah. Anyway, Hachimecha doing what he can, trying to steal some camps from the Trundle. Try and get some pressure exerted on the field. Keep his laners safe right now, or at least try and get some information for them. Try and figure out where this trundle could be. It does shows... Oh, no. Actually, there are some pings going to the trundle top side. Nico just stole that facade. And pretty obvious thing going on there. We already see Evie, as far as the CS goes, already kind of dominating the matchup here against the Aatrox pretty significantly. Almost double the CS lead. I'm just completely smacking the Aatrox around. This is why I think people need to start on the world stage to get a little concerned about Hachimecha going in. They are able to get the flip on him, able to secure it, do a nice CC chain. Gang leaving Udapon out to dry, says, sorry, I'm going to just dip on out of here. I think it's for the best move. Otherwise, I'm going to die as well. So that is how the Volibear is supposed to work. I mean, once you get that flash out of Udapon, it does get pretty hard, and you have a nice layering of CC. So Hachimecha on that bottom side, and they should have had a good idea at least of where the jungler was. Udapon and Gang up way too far. Arcane Shift trying to get out of there, but going to get bursted down. So that is how that matchup is supposed to go. So providing a little bit of pressure over to the Crest Gaming Act now. That has actually garnered themselves a little bit of a CS lead here. And will be going back in the lane with a BF sword. So they might be able to make up a similar play to that. Keep focus on that flash timer. Try and just force that out over and over again so they can maybe get a more significant lead here. Because Nap is getting bullied here in the top lane. He's almost down 20 CS now. Aatrox doing what he can, but the range of the Gnar just bullying him out. And let's turn back to that Worlds discussion. I mean, if you have a top laner who is trashing people on a top that isn't really getting a lot of play, and that has obvious counters like the Yasuo, which is a popular champion to pick in to the Gnar, like a Fiora, which has just gotten buffed. Like, I'm concerned for that sort of champion pool in this. I mean, of course, there's a lot of prep time before Worlds. Maybe can get some flexibility there, but it is sort of a scary situation, I think, in the grand scheme of things. When you look at that, Gnar is his most played champion. I mean, maybe this helps by showing, like, he has more in his back pocket, but that is sort of a scary situation here. And Gnar does quite well into the Aatrox traditionally anyways, so I mean, even Aurelia does quite well against the Gnar. I think that is a bit of a skill matchup, but there's so many champions that buy better top laners or just really good top laners when you're heading to Worlds that are going to be totally fine with playing these really aggressive champions that do go in onto the Gnar and bully him out of lane and make him worse. So this is something worrisome for LJL as a whole. They need to figure out some way to better deal with this Gnar threat in the top side. Maybe call some pressure, but Nap's still getting bullied out. He's trying to pull a little bit back in there on the CS, but it's still going to be quite the uphill battle for him to take on. So we've already mentioned it a little bit. Crest Gaming X, they've got a pretty straightforward team comp. If they can play some front to back, that'll be quite good for them. Detonation Focus Me, a bit more of an interesting composition. Some layered back and forward play for themselves. They'll be able to pillar someone, slow somebody down in that regard. Maybe lock somebody up with the Nico. Of course, they have the Gnar, Mega Gnar ulti, potential flank engage for themselves. So a little bit more of an interesting team comp. One that does still have a lot of power. This Nico, depending on where an Ice Pillar lands or prevents someone from running away, or combining the Gnar ulti with the Nico ulti is going to be just absurd levels of pain getting thrown down, and Steel using a Subjugate to either weaken the Volibear or the Sejuani, steal those stats away, or even on just a squishy target. Has a lot of potential to pop Crest Gaming Act. But this just means that they need to have a really nice team fight overall. There's a lot more things that they need to have go right for them. So Crest Gaming Act, I do think, have a legitimate way into this game. Interested to see what happens, though. See how do things start slowly slipping away for Detonation Focus. I mean, we already saw Crest Gaming Act with a little bit of the flub with the Audio Momo. Slowly sulking away. Oh, now something I do want to comment on. We haven't seen a lot of Muramanas and tiers getting placed on the Kaisa. A lot of people favoring that build as of recent are not opting for that build right now. I suppose he just wants to keep that sort of lane dominant. Looks like he's going to go for some crit items, not even going for the Rage Blade. So sort of a different build that I'm used to seeing here on the bottom lane Kaisa. And I'll see if that pays off for him. I mean, you're already going to be having some crit built onto the Corki. I can't deny the damage numbers that couldn't come out of Kaisa with those kind of crit items or any AD carry, but it feels a little bit of an inefficient build as far as like your ability to throw some early items onto the Kaisa. Or just the, I mean, it's going to scale the same way anyways, but not sure how I feel about Art's build. If they can get the lane advantage, but Steel is really showing his hand quite often on the bottom side because he doesn't need to go anywhere else. Every other lane is fine. Saros is holding his own mid quite well. And Heavy is kind of bullying the Aatrox around, so Steel can just go ahead and camp this bottom lane. What I do want to see is maybe some focus towards the upper side of the map here to get that Rift Herald that is now up. Maybe make a play for that. Get something rolling for themselves with the Gnar. Maybe if they can get a kill onto the Aatrox, get that out for themselves. Steel looking for something here. He wants to get Hachem Mecha. Able to Ice Pillar, deny the dash over the wall. That Arctic Assault. But nothing going to be going on just yet. Game still just sputtering along. Kaisa trying to get a build out. Not a lot of demand for this Cloud Drake right now. The junglers much more interested in just keeping their bottom lane safe. So we see all that vision dedicated towards the bottom side of the map. We see 3 control wards coming out from the side of DFM. See a couple of wards up along the river for Crest Gaming Act. They know that the bottom lane is such a pivotal matchup for them. Ooh, but we do see Momo going towards topside. He's going to get spotted out, and Hachimecha making the play for Rift Herald. So I'm glad that this is happening actually right now. Catching people on the back timers here. Acting as a ward. We do see the teleport coming in mid from Corki, so he's going to be able to support and just head over towards the Rift, push that in, force Saros to go back to that mid lane. Now making engage on Audio Momo, but here comes Evie shifting down to the bottom lane. Saros is busy taking care of the mid lane farm. Luna's going to be able to shift over and protect this Rift Herald takedown. We even have Art teleporting in to help make that sure that happens. Ooh, are we getting actually a lane swap here? Are they going to be putting Art and Audio Momo here onto Evie? Ooh, they really want to get the pressure on this top side, but Steel showing up here. Smite is down. It looks like it is going to be coming off cooldown just in time in order to help take this down. So they are going to be able to get some turret plates here, so that will be worth in the end for that. Even Luna's coming over here. He does have the package. Are they going to be looking for the dive? All ultimates are available for both sides here. Subjugate could get dropped on the Sejuani to make things a little bit scary here. Luna's on the backside doing a lot of damage to Steel here, but going to call off the engage, just bank on those plates. But DFM had a lot of time bottom side, actually, and were able to get a couple of plates for themselves. Yeah, as far as like plate gold across the map, it's even right now. So seemed like Crest Gaming Act, I liked what they're trying to do. I thought that was a pretty cool play, clever for them to make this lane swap, but I'm not sure if it's going to be working out for them in the end here. I mean, Nap's getting bullied out here now. Liked the thought behind it, but the execution with the champions they're using, I'm not so sure about. Trying to exert some more pressure onto Steel. Try and keep tabs onto him. Maybe they're hoping to slow the Gnar down a little bit. Give Nap an advantage. But Nap, I think, is just going to be falling behind harder and harder, just taking constant abuse from Gang and Udapon. And we see more plates falling over to the side of DFM. So this play resulting in a lot of negative here. I mean, gold still in favor of Crest Gaming Act. And plates now down. But it looks like Crest Gaming Act really want to make a play for this top side. Really pressuring it. They might be able to beat it here. Nap is pulling back. That bottom lane turret is very, very low. It's going to be actually pretty close here, I think. it is going to go to Crest Gaming Act, so they were able to get first turret blood for themselves. But gold is still only 200 gold away, so not very much. And on top of that, DFM's going to get themselves a dragon. So I would say at the end of the day, this plays goes into favor of DFM. Crest Gaming Act, I think, could have made something really beautiful there. I think if they had just pulled the trigger a little bit harder topside, I think that would have been cool. I think the Corki damage, it was like a 2v5 situation almost under a turret with the Rift Herald. I think that's a play that you could make. I think that would go in your favor. Maybe they were just too scared of the threat of Sarah, so I don't remember exactly where he was on the map at the time. But maybe I'll go ahead and check that out a little bit later, see what the level of play was. But I think Crest Gaming Act, if they had just pulled the trigger on that, they would have been able to make a lot happen. Even if they just lost one person, that's 2 kills there. I would almost think an assured 2 kills and a first blood turret for themselves. So a lot of gold on their side to pick up. We do see the Trinity Force completed for the Corki and the Ezreal, so both fitting their first item power spikes here. Sending Corki towards the top side to get that farm. Aatrox still just on side lane duty, just absorbing getting the farm that he can. He's not actually that far behind Gnar anymore, and he of course hasn't died, so absorbing pressure best he can. But it's not been a very fun game for Nap so far, getting bullied by a Gnar here. Wants to be a part of the action, be a part of the fights. Now DFM making the play here, and Crest Gaming Act just being really scared here to go ahead and approach. I think they need to try and make something happen here. I mean, maybe they just want to play it nice and slow. Maybe try and get Corki some split push pressure here. Just a little awkward. Gonna shoot a rocket off. Oh, Luna and Steel just gonna say hello to each other as Luna just zips around the jungle for now. I guess Crest Gaming Act's policy still just saying to themselves, we can just scale the light. It's fine. We're okay. We don't want to fight right now. We want to just let Corki get fed here. Oh, Stormrazor. I'm sorry. Not Infinity Edge for Kai'Sa. Goodness gracious. I saw the pickaxe and I was like, oh, okay, I guess that must be Infinity Edge. I thought I saw. Either way. Kai'Sa's build not as crazy as I thought it was. Slowly scaling up. Now, game will probably slow down until the next dragon here, waiting for that next set of items to get here. And then maybe Crest Gaming Act will finally start pulling the trigger here for fights. Because I think they have a nice straightforward fight on their own. Like the Glacial Prism from the Sejuani can make some nice things happen for themselves. But just letting DFM occasionally get some hits on this mid lane turret. Nothing going really. Gold really dead even right now. And teams just slowly fighting for vision. CS, as far as differentials go, looks like Crest Gaming Act, you've got the head in that. You see that the gold's a little bit different, but nothing exciting going on here just yet. We've got an Ocean Drake in a little over a minute here now. Ooh, are we going to get a pick here? Oh, Steel just being cute. Dropping the Ice Pillar. And goodness, Adame Momo and Hachimeka just immediately scared off. They don't even want to try getting that control board. It just feels like there's so much fear coming from the side of Crest Gaming Act against DFM. They feel like maybe there's just so much on the line. Like if they win this game, then they've got first place locked in. So don't be too crazy. But usually that sort of sense of mind ends up hurting you pretty bad. All right, finally working a way in to try and get that control. But no, they're just too scared. Goodness. This is pretty actually rough to see. I want to see Crest Gaming Act just pull the trigger, go hard into a fight. I do think they have this team fight advantage because DFM have a little bit more setup time to get going for themselves. Because, I mean, the Nico ultimate is pretty telegraphed. Heavy, I mean, you need Mega Gnar, so If you can play around that, have the Aatrox force the Meganar out, let it almost whittle out, and so that it gets to that recharge state around a fight, I think that puts you in a good position there. Let's see what happens with this dragon. We got Crest Gaming Act. They all just base. They're all heading back to the field of play here. Seeing some pressure mid. Art's going to take a little bit of damage. Whoa, actually a lot of bit of damage. Yutapon and Yumi getting the hurt onto Art, and he's probably just going to have to base. Who's popping pots for himself right now, the refillable potion, I should say. And it looks like he's going to be relegated off. Should be able to heal up a little bit here, but I don't know if he's going to be able to go ahead and fight here. DFM looking for a way to engage here. Meganar is available, and we do see Hajimeka finally go in. Art jumping out to the backside, Nap doing what he can with the knockups. Here comes the Nico ultimate. Not going to be able to hit anybody except Audio Momo. First kill going over to DFM. Art getting very low. Hajimeka able to get the kill onto Nico. Is Art going to go try and fly back in? Does not have access to ultimate just yet. It's a 1-for-1 right now. Nap trying to find his way into it, but Yumi just going to be slowing him down. Hajimeka trying, still finding a target, but Yutapon getting Luna very low, and Yutapon going to dash forward and able to take out Corky. So now it's a 2-1 in favor of DFM, but Hajimeka getting very low. Is he actually staking around? Nap able to get a kill for himself as well. Yumi going to be just ducking over to steal. And this is going to end up being a 2-for-2. Very close fight situation here. Thought Crest Gaming Act had it with them finally pulling the trigger there, but a couple of times, nicely timed ultis, and we saw immediately that the Volibear, already back in it. Yumi dropping the ultimate out. That ultimate really low cooldown. Goodness gracious. Looks like that. Okay, fighting subsided for now. So Ezreal picking it now. 3 kills for himself. Goodness. Art getting a kill. Sejuani, Aatrox. So that'll definitely help Aatrox in the side lane pressure. See if he can do anything. But as of right now, Teleport does favor the side of DFM. Hajimeka making the play for Dragon, but it looks like all the members of DFM are heading back over here as well. Don't think it's going to be expected to be much of a smite fight. These are going to be able to pick that up early as Steel's lagging behind a little bit. Audio Momo getting very low, though. He's going to be the sacrificial lamb. Go ahead and distract everybody. But Art jumping on in. Getting a nice kill on the backside. Now the chase is on for Crest Gaming Axe Art here, but Glacial Prism going on out. Going to stop that chase indeed. But now Eevee's back on the engage. They've got a little bit of poke with the boomerang. Some mystic shots coming out from Ezreal here. They really want to crack through this mid lane turret and gain themselves access to more parts of the map here. They are very obsessed with that. They're okay with handing over the Ocean Drake, but finally going to crack that out. Now they've got a little bit of dive pressure here, actually, with Gnar being available. He does not have flash, but if Crest Gaming Act do step up, Evie is going to have the ability to just throw some people into a wall very easily. But now Gnar is down. Taking a little bit of damage there from Art, but that'll be that. But we have a teleport coming in from Aatrox and Corky. So 2-man teleport onto the backside. Yutapon getting very low. Luna able to pick up the kill on the backside. Nap getting low, but not able to follow up any more additional damage onto that. Eevee getting low himself. Negamart change going to come in here. As Steel jumps on him to keep a little bit of extra protection there for himself, or gang, I should say, the Yumi. Now maybe Crest Gaming Act have an opportunity to get themselves this turret in answer so that they have the same amount of pressure that DFM will have. Instead, they're just going to call it back here, it looks like, for now. Not follow up on that, even though they did get the kill. They had the man advantage, but they sent Aatrox back bottom. Trying to soak up that farm once more. But I thought it was a clever play coming out from Crest Gaming App. That nice deep ward. A lot of people underestimate the importance of just throwing a ward in the lane. It helps out so much. It presents plays like that. Being sure that you ward behind you, very important at times. But that very far forward ward just at the cusp of that turret line. So Crest Gaming App, keep them a little bit interested enough. Just like a little bit, funnel them back. just waiting, being very patient, waiting for DFM to take that wave again because they knew they want this turret. Teleports, probably get seen by the turret, but here comes Luna. A lot of damage dropped down on a Utapon. Steel just going to be jumping out there frantically, but we see this burst damage coming out from the side of Crest Gaming Act. If Aatrox can get that Darkened Blade damage off, knock up the target, keep them locked down a little bit, Corki can drop a lot of damage. Does have Infinity Edge finished here. Working on static Shiv item, either Rapid Fire Cannon or Static Shiv. I imagine the Rapid Fire Cannon for the extra added little pokes here and there. But now we got Crest Gaming Act with, going to get seen by that True Shot Barrage. He's trying to set up a play for themselves. But Baron is alive. We're 25 minutes in. Baron's been up for about 5 minutes now. A little bit of vision dedicated outside, but neither team really set their eyes on that just yet. They're not quite comfortable at a level where they want to take it. There'll be about another item or so, I think, on everybody before these teams will be legitimately playing around that as something to go after. In Crest Gaming Act, I think they're pretty comfortable with where they're at in the game. They've still got a lot of wonderful scaling to go for themselves. Here, not afraid to just keep on going the way that they're going. But we've seen so often in this game already how annoying Yuumi is, why she's been so prevalent on the ban list. She just jumps around and offers so much obnoxious play, and her ultimate being on such a low cooldown, and it's just essentially a better Sona ultimate here. You can get so many more members in. It's clearly not as fast and you can react to it, but it sort of lulls you into a false sense of security with the waves that it comes out, because you need to get hit by 3 waves, and sort of messes with your mind a little bit. You think, oh, I got hit by 1 wave, it's fine. Oh, there's a second one, I could flash this, and then you get hit by a third, and you're like, oh, well, I guess I'm dead. Anyways, we see DFM slowly setting up vision here. They know what the next objective is. It's going to be Dragon here in a little bit, and Crest Gaming Act, they do not have the teleport advantage here. 2 teleports available for DFM. Instead, they're just going to keep themselves safe. On the top side, Luna taking a lot of trips towards this top side. I don't imagine... slowing down here a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't lag behind too much more. There we go. Goodness. Don't understand what's going on there. But anyways, handing over an Ocean Drake to DFM. Would have been nice for Crest Gaming Act to get a second one for themselves. You can never get a third. Absurdity of that regen. Just so obnoxious. And that's definitely going to help them. Even though it's not as significant in the later parts of the game, just having 1 Ocean Drake, that will help them with the poke of Corki that he's going to be dishing out. Maybe the Prey Seekers popping out from Kaisa here and there. That'll help them out a little bit more. So, hovering over the sweeper, and dear Lord, 109 board score? Jeez. Louise. Comes close to no one. Steel, man on the job, just clearing out vision left and right. Goodness gracious. He's sitting on a 40. Woof. Man alive. I don't think I usually see that. I mean, I don't think I saw that in I was watching some LCK today, but they don't even ward or de-ward like that. That is nuts. Every time that goes to show you, every time that sweeper's off cooldown, you need to just be popping it and looking for the obvious ward, increase your ward score. Pad the stats for yourselves. Help it so that you can increase your grade, as it were, when you're going into games. Get those level 7 champions, guys. See, DFM setting up a play here. Goodness gracious. It's been a little bit of a slow draw here. We saw them take that mid lane turret. We were able to get that dragon. But now some pressure topside. It looks like another turret's finally going to be dropping here. And the side of DFM, Crest Gaming Act, really have not done much. I mean, yes, it's one thing to be comfortable with scaling. And I totally understand that. But I want to see a little bit of action here. See Hachamecha kind of engage, jump on in onto a target. Not on your own, mind you, because that seems a little foolhardy. But as you can see, the vision control, I mean, that ward score of 116 really showing here, as you can see that the Baron area is completely controlled by DFM, and now Kreskimiak have to come in as a unit to make sure that wards are down. Steel maybe getting a little ahead of himself. He's got Eevee to work with, though. Ooh, lagging up a little bit. What is going on here? Why am I lagging up so bad? All right. Might just... Okay. Did I lose internet connection? Goodness gracious. And that brings me to what I mentioned earlier. Move to a new place. Maybe the internet's not as great here. It's a fair question to ask ourselves at a point like this. Would it help if I dropped it to 720? It would. Oh, man, that looks so much worse. Goodness gracious. But you know what? We'll let it load a little bit, and we'll jump over to the 1080 here in a little bit. As we got this next fight going on, Steel getting very low. Already used Subjugate, trying to steal some stats, keep himself healthy just enough. But we see the Yuumi ulti coming across, and we see Momo already falling down. Now Kreskimiak need to get the heck out of here. Ooh, Hajimeka almost falling down. Art going to re-engage. Corki going to pick up a kill onto the Ezreal here. Nico going on in and going to get taken down by Corki at the end here. Cyril's doing what he can to try and follow up with that. Ooh, Yuumi dropping out of Q and doing a little bit of damage there. And now Kreskimiak can turn their eyes onto Baron. Are they going to be comfortable enough here, though? The jungler is still up on the side of Detonation Focus Me. Looks like Kreskimiak, they've been playing pretty patient this entire time. Don't really want to pull DFM, although I think, with the champions that they have, I think that's kind of pressure that you need to exert at that point. I mean, you know that the Yuumi ulti is down. All the ultimates were used. I don't think they have enough follow-up damage from the Gnar. I think this is a time that you need to be trying to exert the pressure that you just won. You got rid of, like, the two main carries here. So how did this go ahead and start up? Hachimeka throwing out the Glacial Prism onto Steel. Going to subjugate that. We see the Yuumi ulti make a full completion, and that drops Volibear very quickly. Art on the backside hasn't made a play just yet, but we do see that Luna and Art both jumping forward at the same time. Nice play by them. Luna only one getting caught up there because stopwatch used by Art. But heads up play by Art and Luna to just see that Udapon giving him an opening on the side there. Able to jump in very quickly. Let's see if I can go ahead and jump this up to 1080 again. Please excuse the obnoxiousness. Now it doesn't look as trash. Fantastic. Anyways, that just feels like such a miss by Kreskimiak. Like it was, yes, it would have been a 50-50 smite, but I think that's just you exert your pressure onto the Baron. Wait for Steel to show up, turn around, and kill him. He didn't have Subjugate. He has Gargoyle Stone Plate, but I feel like you should be able to punch through him very easily on your side. Here, he's got HP and armor, but don't forget, Corki does a lot of AP damage as well. Kreskimiak now trying to exert pressure onto the Baron, but I feel like it was a little bit too late. Got another Ocean Drake up. Oh, I think they got a pretty good idea that Hachimeka is in the area. DFM doing what they do, clearing out the vision, getting at control for themselves. Luna waiting for a play there. Oh, nice wards to teleport on again by Kreskimiak. Still doing a good job. And we do see the teleport onto the backside. Momo trying to make a play in. Mega Gnar is going to be up here. Throws Yo-Yo into the wall. Not a lot of direct hits going on here. Luna trying to get some damage out into the backside, but the Volibear is the only target here, really getting low. Hachimeka also on half health. DFM, everyone staying relatively healthy here. A lot of ultimates used by Kreskimiak, and now it looks like they're just going to be trying to get out here. Volibear getting locked up. Doesn't have a lot of healthy stats for himself. Passive getting dropped from the Volibear, so going to heal up from that. Luna just going to make the escape here, but not able to pop down a target. I think that it was incorrect for them to go ahead and go after Gnar there. I think they need to try splitting them up a little bit. Send Aatrox into the lane, force Gnar to build up that rage bar a little bit before making a play like this. Now the poke from the Ezreal and the Nico and the Gnar really coming through, whittling down Kreskimiak. Both teams look like they're just going to be resetting right now. But I do really like these plays coming out of Crest Gaming Act. I think it's nice going on to these like, oh, let's try and surprise them with these deep awards. But I mean, maybe if you do it too many times in one game, I think the other team starts getting wise to what you're trying to do. And Crest Gaming Act not even making an effort to even try and look for the dragon here, and that's a second Ocean Drake, one that I think Crest Gaming Act would have done well to get for themselves. I mean, they are taking a lot of damage. Poke damage from Crest Gaming Act. If they want to posture around Baron Pit, they can just heal themselves up and reset fights here. But now they're just handing over more pressure to DFM. I think a lot of this game so far has just been a lack of acting on Crest Gaming's part. It feels like a little lackluster. Just a little rough. I feel as of right now, the play might be to, I mean, you have the teleport advantage against the Gnar. Send Aatrox to the far lane. Have him start working on drawing the Gnar in, get that rage bar up, get those deep wards that Steel keeps missing, because it does. I mean, with a ward score of 143, you know he's the man on the case, clearing out the wards. But you see that deep ward in the top side, on the blue side of DFM. I mean, DFM, for whatever case, they are missing these wards. If you can get those wards in onto their side, you do have great flank positions. I mean, Evi's going to have teleport up here relatively soon. Now we're just posturing for an ARAM here. This feels a little gross. Just send Aatrox to the side lane. You have the scaling. You have the teleport advantage. Pull Gnar. Make it so that his rage bar is up so that he does not have a good opportunity to teleport in, and doesn't have the opportunity to teleport in when teleport is down. Instead, they're going to go on Eevee once more, get his health bar low, but here's Mega Gnar up, and is he going to be jumping in, looking for an engage here? Yuumi ulti not going to be able to connect with anybody. Evi not finding the targets just yet, but is he going to... He does get the wall up, able to lock in two characters. Nika ulti not going to be catching anybody yet, but the Volibear is dead again in the fight once more, but Art jumping in onto the backside, all onto his own, not able to kill a target, only actually able to take out the Trundle, but that was the end of the fight right there. Crest Gaming Act onto the hunt, trying to find any targets, but now it looks like they're getting pinched here, and this is not a good case because it's Unopon and Yuumi. Yuumi going to pick up the kill for himself. Sero's just locking people up. Unopon's still healthy, alive for himself, and now they're just going to be dancing between. Ooh, Luna going to pick that up. Sero's maybe going a little too hard there. Appreciate the backup teleport from Evi, but it's a lost teleport there. Maybe a little overreaching there. Maybe getting a little too excited about beating their competitors here. But Crest Gaming Act, what are you doing? You're setting up for these fights in these corridors where Gnar can get these ultimates off, lock up these champions. I don't know, yeah, Momo just there to run in and then flip somebody. I mean, I understand picking Volibear in order to get that sort of lane pressure, like what we saw at very early parts of the game. But at this stage in the game, he's just getting blown up before the fight can really begin. Just absorbing damage. Art trying to go for that hero play onto the backside, but not able to get the crits that he needed. Just not able to make it happen. Getting an Executioner's Blade to maybe reduce some of that healing that is happening on the side of DFM here. An interesting build actually out of the Ezreal. Very split damage going, getting a Gunblade for himself. Going to keep himself very healthy with a Bloodthirster. So that Executioner's Calling is very called for in order to cut through all that nonsense, including the Yuumi's nonsense, who now has a Magi spellbook of 12. So going to do a little bit of damage with that Q. We already saw her take a kill for herself already. And Yuumi, these are the reasons why she's banned. It's almost impossible to kill her. She's just like, oh, well, you're about to die. Let me just jump out of here. Kind of a selfish. Again, going on to the Trundle. Are they going to be able to pick up the kill for themselves this time? Art not burning down the target just yet, but still getting down very low. Going to be able to pick that up. Volibear not dead at the start of the fight this time. Hachimeka getting very, very low, though, from that True Shot barrage. And Crest Gaming Act on the back foot again. They're going to have to run out of here once more. Ooh, Audio Momo getting caught up pretty badly. Is he going to be able to fall here? Oh, goodness. Oh, and the wallops. And the Mega Gnar ultimate still comes through. Ezreal picking up 2 kills for himself. Nap getting locked up. Sero's very comfortable going ahead and going for this dive. Sero's taking the turret aggro enough for Unopon to go ahead and pick up that kill for himself. And this is going to be likely the end of the game. It's only the Sejuani and Art up right now. And it's just so many misplays from the side of Crest Gaming Act. Feels so bad. DFM just doing whatever they want. No real pressure exerted onto them. And this is also why you don't... Oh, and there it is, the third bind, what I was talking about. Thought I was talking nonsense, but there goes the Mega Gnar ulti just coming through. In this game, so disappointing, I'm sure, for Crest Gaming Act, and a lot of nonsense. A lot of nonsense. Not feeling it. I know, as I mentioned earlier, I was distantly watching LJL, and I had some trepidations about what I was seeing. And those are kind of confirmed. I'm as of right now, I'm gonna keep watching games and stuff like that as a prep for the playoff stage. But heading into Worlds, everybody's got a lot to work on. That was, I think, against better teams. Neither of these teams really hold up. So I don't want to talk too discouragingly. We'll go ahead and see what happens. I mean, DFM played their own game. They were just kind of seeing like what Crest Gaming Act was going to do, and Crest Gaming Act did nothing. So I guess that's if you're going to react to nothing, you do nothing. But there's a lot for both teams to show up. I'll be interested to see how things develop in playoffs. So again, playoffs don't start till September 1st, so they've got about 2 weeks to shore things up. So let's hope for a bit more aggression, a bit more of a sounder plays getting set up. But excited to see what happens. Thank you all for listening, and bye.